Gerard Mayo goes in on January 1st to the press conference and says that they want to win this last game. Now, keep in mind, if the Patriots win this last game, they are not going to get the number one overall pick. You can say, oh, well, they have Drake May already. It doesn't matter. It does matter. It matters a ton to ownership. It should matter because there's a lot that you can do with that number one overall pick if you don't want to select the player in terms of trading down, and a lot of money that you could get as a result. So then Alex Van Pelt just yesterday comes out and says, Drake May looked good. He's ready to go. So he'll be starting the game for sure. We are playing to win the game. That is for sure. Let's pretend the New England Patriots do win this game. Then that number one pick would go to the Tennessee Titans. But look at what Tennessee has to say. Their head coach, I'm probably going to play both Mason Rudolph and Will Levis this week. I don't know what it looks like yet, but I think both guys will have some opportunities. You want to make sure that you have a full evaluation of that QB spot so that you feel really strongly if somebody is or isn't your guy. Maybe it's a situation where a guy is playing well and we let him play. If he's not playing well, we bring another guy in to take a chance at it. This to me is insanity. This coach has had ample time to evaluate both of these quarterbacks, Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. It seems like he absolutely hates Will Levis's guts. Every chance that he got, barring a few weeks in there where they were trying to build up potentially Mason Rudolph's confidence, he was crapping all over Will Levis. The first 6 to 7 weeks of the season, and then the last 2 weeks of the season. So they've had plenty of time to evaluate him. And how do you not have enough time to evaluate Mason Rudolph? And if there's any one of these top two teams here that could need a quarterback, the Patriots just drafted Drake May. The Titans obviously are working between Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. You know what you've got there. Your coach hates these guys. How on earth would you be trying to play the quote-unquote hot hand at quarterback in this game? You need to lose this game and hope that the Patriots win their game like idiots so that you can get the number one overall pick so that you can take whatever quarterback that you want in the draft, because clearly you need a quarterback. When you've got two, you've got none. And the two are Will Levis and Mason Rudolph. We already know you got none when those are the two. So I don't understand why they would think that they need to use this as an evaluation week and put the guy in who's playing well. And if a guy is playing well, we're leaving him in until he stops playing well. Then we're sticking another guy to hope he can play better. No, you want the guy who's playing the worst to be playing. You want the guy who absolutely sucks the most to be taking the most snaps in the game so that you lose this game. Then it drops down to Cleveland because the Giants, although they are also 3-13, are behind Cleveland in the ranks. It's amazing, but if Tennessee and New England both win these games, which right now Tennessee is actually favored by 1.5 over the Houston Texans. New England is underdogs of 2.5. Sorry, New England is underdogs of 2.5 points to the Buffalo Bills. If both of those teams win, you know who gets the number one overall pick? The Cleveland Browns. And the Cleveland Browns understand the mission. They haven't been playing Jameis Winston. You can say, oh, we need to evaluate Jameis Winston. It's not like Jameis Winston is a 40-year-old Joe Flacco. Jameis Winston could still be evaluated, just like Mason Rudolph could still be evaluated. But no, they don't want Jameis Winston in there because Jameis Winston could actually win some of these games. They don't even want DTR in there. They're going to mix and match DTR with, Bailey Zappi. And they've sat a ton of their players for this game. And they are now 20-point underdogs to the Baltimore Ravens. You think they don't understand the mission? They're sitting back there and hoping to God that they're not using. I think coaches are silly to say oh, we're going to use week 18 to evaluate the roster. You've spent months, 7-8 months working with these guys on almost a daily basis. If you think one game is going to be what he showed me in this one game is the reason, your evaluation skills probably need a lot of improvement. So I know every single coach thinks that. I just disagree. I don't think that one guy having a mediocre to good performance as a third-string backup against a third-string backup on another team on a random Sunday on January 5th in 2025 should make the difference as to whether this guy gets a new contract or doesn't get a new contract. I think that's ridiculous. So if I'm the players, I'm obviously playing hard. When I'm out there, I'm trying to show that I deserve a new contract. I'm talking about from the coaching and evaluation perspective here. The players should be playing hard. The coaches are right to say, I need to evaluate this guy, but they're wrong to think that that evaluation should go a long way towards their decision-making as to whether they keep this guy or they don't keep this guy. But the bottom line is, I don't understand what a lot of these coaches are doing. And if what they're saying publicly is at all how they're going to actually coach these games, owners need to get in here and take this bull by the horns and rear this thing back and make it so that these teams are coaching to lose these games. So you could play whoever you want to play, but the play calling is what dictates wins and losses almost as much as the players do. You can take Bailey Zappi and put him in there, and you could have Bailey Zappi chuck it around and try to win this game, or you could just have him hand the ball off and make sure you lose this game. You could take Will Levis, and if he's playing like crap, you just keep him in the game. And you call run plays to Tony Pollard to try to get him his mark, but you try to lose the game. There's a lot of things that you can do here to try to lose these games. And if New England is dumb enough with Gerard Mayer to actually win this game, then hopefully the Tennessee Titans are smart enough to then go out and lose their game.